Setup, so it'll just be a second. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I know I am, because every day, great day. I think today's Friday. Lots of silliness going on, but we're gonna go out and feed the chickens. We're gonna go have some fun. We're gonna talk about lots of non-silly stuff. We're gonna save the world. One chicken, one bunny, one carrot at a time. So that's what we do, guys. That is what we do. So I want to make sure that it's functioning the way it's supposed to, which I'm working on that right now. I think it is. It looks like it. Great, great, great. So let's, hey Mark Boggs. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Sorry I've not been on, or I've not been on the same time you've been on when we've been playing Minecraft. I had a bunch of crap to do today that I wasn't expecting. New stuff has fallen onto my plate that I wasn't expecting to have for my plate. Okay, so let's head on outside. Yeah, if for some reason you guys, I think I've got it set up today. If for some reason DLive is acting up really, really bad, you guys can also get and view this on Truvo, which I don't necessarily really like that site, but I'm broadcasting on there, so, you know, again, you know, always play around, or you guys can also get on, I think, yeah, it is on Twitch now. Let me know, hit me up in the chat. I'll talk about it on the stream. But if not, we can just go back to talking about farming, about raising chickens, about just being out here on this snowy day. As you guys can see, snow on the ground. It was supposed to snow all day, but they just don't know weather anymore. Look at that beautiful blue skies, and they can't predict crap anymore. They're so bad at the weather game. So at this particular point, I just look at the radar and just pick it myself and say, this is what's going to happen. And if I'm wrong, then I'm about as good as the weatherman. And if I'm right, I'm having a good time. So I don't know really what we're going to chat about today. Got some ideas. I'm noticing so many people are getting stressed out about just life in general, and I don't like that, and I don't know how to counteract that, and I don't know what not to talk about and what to talk about and how to help you guys. Like, if you guys were here, I could give you a hug and hand you a shovel and, you know, a little, you know, human contact and a little physical labor. You'd be surprised how much the rest of the outside world, it just melts away and you don't really care. So some human contact, some physical labor, some good conversation, some good food, you know, maybe a beer or two, or maybe just some sweet tea, or, you know, one of the many drugs that we all use to function in real life society. Because, you know, caffeine and alcohol and tobacco and cannabis and, heck, sugar, all some of the societal drugs that we use so that we function as real people. But, you know, doesn't sound like it. Sounds like my cistern is frozen today. Didn't think it would be. Hose, no water's coming out. It should be spraying the phone right now. Alas, that means we have to get it from the house. No big deal. You see me slipping, that's what's going on there. No big deal. We'll just take it there. And we just retool Plan B. So if it snows later tonight, or if it starts snowing tomorrow, I think we'll do another episode of the Snowy Mountain Saga. We'll go for a walk up on the mountain and we'll talk about some more important things. But for now, we're just gonna go farming. We're gonna go get some water to fill up water containers. Just, I don't know, just generally talk about silliness. So, Mark, I'm on, see if you can watch it on Twitch. That'll be interesting. I'm curious if it's, DLive's been having a lot of issues today, hence the reason I chose to stream this on multiple sites today. So, I was having a tough time watching most of the people I wanted to on here, so I just set it up. So it should be streaming on other things, so. Oh, Sun Bear. Welcome. I saw that you are on Truvo, or whatever the hell that new site's called. I followed you, so thanks for following me on there. So, that's cool. I'm nervous about that site, I'll just be honest. But, I don't, you know, no reason to, oh no, I lost the lid. I lost the lid somewhere, guys, so. I'm going to set it up so Mark can watch my channel real fast, guys. I'm going to walk into the house. I'm going to put this up on Discord. And then we'll see if he can actually watch it on Discord. Because I think I can stream myself on Discord, so. Yes, Truvo, the one that is owned by Tencent. The one, but, you know, me as being a, you know, selling out to the Chinese a long time ago, and I say that as in I set up accounts, and so they know all this information about me, because I think it's important for somebody that we know to do that, so I have set that up a long time ago. But let me, oh, sorry, Lisa. Let me fix this so that maybe, oh, interesting. It is also locked up on my computer. And it never locks up on my home computer. So. Let's see. I'm going to pop into Idle Chit Chat. I'm going to share the screen. I'll share that screen. I'll make it full size, and I'll turn it all the way up. So
all the way.
All the way. Yes. So we'll see if that makes any difference for you, Mark. Hopefully you can. If not, like I said, it should be. Actually, you guys made me want to check this now. So I want to see if this is actually playing on. This is actually playing on Twitch as well, because now you guys got me back in the house and interested, and I'm gonna be in the house anyways because the water's frozen out there. So looks like it's playing on Twitch as well. So that should be so I guess that's a good thing. I guess that means it's streaming properly. Yeah, the weather here, it's been a weird day in general. It looked like it was gonna crazy rain, like gray sky.
Got dark.
And Lisa said it got super dark, and it snowed a little bit, and it just looked like we were gonna get a lot. And now when you walk outside, it's this like beautiful blue sky.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to snow from 10 to 3, and then tonight it's supposed to snow again for 3 days straight.
Okay, so Lisa says it's gonna snow for 3 days straight.
Let's see. Here's one more.
Any word? Thank you for the ice creams and the lemon, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Right now, we're getting ready to head back outside.
So excited. So excited. I don't keep hearing when it sounds like a baby duck.
That's a bird.
Okay.
Yeah. I at one point used to be able to tell you what kind. Yeah, Terry, they can't even predict the weather like 15 minutes out anymore, like let alone any substantial amount of time. So we're gonna walk over here. I need to find that lid. You know what? First we're gonna do is we're gonna start the water because that's what I need to do first, and then we're going to go back and figure out where that lid is that I had since lost as my adventures out that way. And then we'll go and check out the baby bunnies and chickens and all the other stuff that you guys are actually here for. So, and if for some reason DLive is acting up really bad for you, I currently have it set up so that you guys should be able to just jump onto the Discord and watch it on the Discord as well. So. This in here and let me get this water flowing. Okay, and I'll go find the bucket for that in just a second. So, sorry, I'm finding the lid. The lid is what I'm looking for. Yeah, we're supposed to get, it's supposed to really dip down and be chilly today and tomorrow. And we're supposed to have some polar vortex come down, but we will see. I don't mind cold weather. I don't mind snow. Hence the reason I live where I live, because I actually love a little bit of snow. So, here Lisa just tossed a little bit of popcorn down for all the ducks, so they are all happy. She's still throwing a little bit of popcorn down. I don't know if you guys can see it, but one of the bags that she's carrying is one of the feed bags. We convert old feed bags into like shopping bags or just carrying bags or purses or whatever. And as in Lisa. So that's part of the we category there. So she and that's on her little Etsy store. And by the way, guys, speaking of Etsy, if you guys have not seen Sun Bear, that's currently in our chat. She also has an Etsy store where she does stained glass and such like that. And also her channel's about stained glass. Check her out. And if she's still here, if you want to plug your channel or you want to plug your Etsy in the chat, go ahead. Your work is amazing. And since, somebody on Facebook's already trying to steal your work for you, you might as well, plug yourself whenever you get the opportunity. Where did that lid go, folks? Where did I lose that lid? Because I need it. Because I can't carry the water outside without it. So we're going to go steal that one. We're going to go steal that one until I can find the other one. So. And if she doesn't want to plug herself, that's fine. If she does, cool. Either way. But she's just posted just a few minutes ago. It's the Sun Bear. So sneak over to her site, give her a follow. So, there you go. There is her site. Check it out. Amazing, amazing work, guys. Oh, here we have a bunny battle royale going on. We're right up front. What are you guys fighting for? Just fighting? Just chilling? Just chilling. That was just a mild battle bunny royale. So, okay. I got the container I got what I need in my pocket, and poking myself in the face with a tree, and we're gonna head on up to the house to start collecting that water that hopefully now is at least halfway full. That's the downfall to getting the water from the house compared to the cistern. First off, I like the cistern water better because it's spring water. And as crazy as it is that I live here in the absolute middle of nowhere, and then I'm living in the absolute crazy middle of nowhere, I do still have city water. So D-Sneak, sorry to see you go, but if you are interested, I do have if you're interested in watching me stream on other sites, I am on, if you find X Dr. Firefly, that should be me on just about everywhere else. So, thank you, man. Good luck to you as well. I hope wherever your friends go next, that it turns out to be a good place for them. Okay.
Well, if it's not overflow master.
Yep.
You know what the water costs?
Well, not that much. You
Yes,
could have
it
you
does.
guys, Jake was standing right here. You could have easily turned it off.
I did. That's at the
Thank you. I asked Jake to look at it.
Well, that takes the dubious one.
Excuse me, Luna. Watch out, doggy. Watch out, doggy. It's fine. Doggy out. Nope. Awesome, dude. That's what we need. That's what we do need to do as followers. Is if we have some of our favorite people, follow them to where they need to go, because so that we can keep our voice loud and heard. I'm lucky. What I do is boring to most people, so it falls very well under the radar. So, by the way, guys, you did get to see a little of the perk of living with your family again. So, one of the crazy stuff that happens as you yes, you are so true with that about sneaking between the fingers, and we start building our own. I've and Frank, I've mentioned that many times, that I think a lot of us need to come up with different types of codes, need to come up with things that we want to talk about without having to worry so much about the stuff. So that folks that try to censor us, or decide to actually try to censor anyone, because I'll be behind it. I'm against all form of censorship. So I think that if you're doing bad things, you should be prosecuted for your bad things. So, but I also don't want I also don't want somebody that's doing something that somebody thinks is bad, and it's not actually bad, to be punished and things of that sort. So I don't know if you follow my Discord channel, but we have a pretty good community that we've built up on there, and I do have a backup to Discord just in case they decide to take us down as well. So let me check the water. I'm gonna set you guys here for a second because it's a lot harder for me to get the dog and everything in and out. So give me about 1 second. Okay, so yeah, I'm with all of the bad stuff that's been happening around everywhere in the world, and such like that. It's just they're just finding nice ways to make it so that we forget about the important things in life. And in general, I think one of the most important things in life is community. And we do lack that, and all of the current restrictions that's going on definitely make it so. And we just we know all the bad things going on. And here's the thing, I'm gonna actually respectfully disagree with you. They can't steal community. All they can do is try to silence folks. The community is still here. We just find new ways, just the same as if a natural disaster would come through and destroy a farm, or a natural disaster would come through and destroy a town. We just rebuild. And you just make sure that you have all the tools in place so that those around you know how to rebuild, when to rebuild, and where to do all the rebuilding.
Take a right when you go out.
Okay. Where am I going?
Oh, something went down in the window.
Okay. Oh, guys. Got some. Is it group?
Somebody might have discovered the bunny hole.
Oh.
But where's the dust come from?
Oh, yeah. Someone discovered the bunny hole.
You think that was the bunny hole?
Yeah, that was the bunny hole.
There's a thing there and then there.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it covered up, and then there's stuff right there. But you don't think it was
No,
big one?
no, that's
Okay.
this is not one big one.
Okay. Only because I haven't seen big one like
Well, so what we're talking about is, again, this is what's great about having your own farm and living in reality instead of this cyber reality that a lot of us pretend to live in. Is like, so right now we're here in the bunny barn, and there is pieces parts, probably the nicest way I can refer to the pieces parts. And so like the good thing is good as in the best way I can say good. The good thing is the pieces parts are in a very distinct location where there was baby bunnies being planted in the ground.
planted. That's a good word.
And so my guess is that the fellow skunk that has been in a previous video has probably broken here and found that they can have baby bunny snacks from the bunny that planted the bunny. Now, I'm not as heartbroken about this as maybe I would have been in the past, or from things of that sort, because nature is just being nature, and everything does need to eat, but it is stuff to be. These are things that you do have. These are little signs and things that you have to be aware of to help see. Like that will mean this is something I have to pay extra attention to. What was the look for future issues about like, is there paw prints of other types of things in there? Is this causing other issues? Is this going to get the skunk to get in there and do more damage and cause more issues? I'm not sure. Was this even a skunk? Because there could have been other things that could have done that as well. And these are all things. These are all things that we need to pay attention to, and things that are very important. And while I absolutely hate it when I lose, hey Uber, absolutely hate it when the days go by and we lose bunnies and when things of that sort. It also, being that this is part of nature, and one of the things that as a homesteader, as a farmer, this is as a farmer, as a homesteader, is something that you plan for. So, actually, Mark. I'll actually disagree with that 100%. I would say I didn't actually. We actually didn't go against nature because this is fundamentally nature. So if I didn't have, and maybe to a lot of you, I'll explain this on the very basic permaculture level. While me and Lisa made the decision with all of our rabbits, if they have put their rabbits in an area that is safe, that gives us the level of protecting them, we will protect all the babies, like the ones that laid the babies inside that particular cage, or the ones that had the babies inside the other types of barns. We do everything we can to protect the babies, but nature will find a way. And so if those particular ones chose to have babies, and a skunk or another type of predator got in there to eat those babies, then that is just the way of nature, because everything has to have a balance. So and Terry Bacon just absolutely right there on the nose. Sometimes you have to pick your fights, because I would actually much rather have a skunk. I would much rather have a skunk than to have a raccoon. And Dee, thank you so much. Thank you for all the support that you've done for however long you've followed me. And good luck with your friends. And may God make all of their future ventures as fruitful as possible. Thank you, man. Thank you, friend. By the way, guys, if you guys are afraid of things disappearing or you guys are leaving, !Discord. You guys can jump over, join the Discord, get contact information about me that way and this way and every other way. And also, if you are also leaving DLive because of this, I do also stream on a few other sites. Dr. Firefly should be me on every site that exists. If I ever find one, I immediately buy the account, or I pick up the account, even if I don't currently have doing anything on that platform. So, but going back to what I was saying about that, so sometimes nature is brutal. Sometimes nature is just crazy. Sometimes nature just does things that we don't necessarily like, and we just accept it, because nature a lot of times knows a lot better than we do. We as humans, we are very always caught up in our emotions. We're caught up in how things feel. We're caught up in a lot of stuff. While nature does have feelings and nature does have emotions, we sometimes think that ours are more dominant and are more important than what actually happens in reality. So some of you, like Mark, had made the comment about that, and other you might look back and said, I should have killed that skunk. That was, that we watched in that stream a couple months ago. And all I say is that skunk might be doing far more benefit to my farm. Far more benefit to my farm than, killing a couple bunnies. So there could be other things that I can't see. And, maybe that'll also teach the bunnies that that's not a good place, that there's far other better places for them to lay their babies and to have their babies. So I don't know if you guys know this, but most of the time, at least my rabbits, they dig holes and they bury their babies underground, or they cover them up with things and then they check on them once a day. That's kind of how that goes with the bunnies and such like that. So again, it's that grounding. It's the one thing I love about being on a farm and raising animals and being out here doing things is as crazy as things can be in the cyber world, as the TV world or the world behind a flashing screen. When you get out here, life just kicks in, and there's like, we saw Battle Bunny Royale earlier today. We just saw, the life and death circle. Me and Lisa's, we've been talking about today, we have to plan on how we're going to move some of these baby bunnies that were born in here, which we're going to check out in just a second. What we're going to do with these, how we're going to build some more cages, what our plans are for bunnies this particular year. Which, by the way, guys, if you're anywhere coming near southern West Virginia, coming down, I'm 5 minutes off of 77, you guys want bunnies or anything like that, get a hold of me and we'll have some conversations. So, and we can talk about that. But, you got the little cute guys like this guy right here. Little cute guy. He's not too happy with me because I have cold hands and they just want food. But, cute guys like that. Let me spin the camera around so you guys can see what we're talking about. So there's the camera that I have currently set up, but you guys can see all of the cute little bunnies. You got the, these guys were born last year. I mean, actually everybody in here was born in 2020. But yeah, these guys were born earlier in the year, and these guys were born at the very end of the year. And the reason I've got so many baby bunnies in here is because I misgendered one. And it only takes one to end up with multiple bunnies. Lots and lots of bunnies. So, since all these baby bunnies are pretty much eating on their own now, it's time for them to be moved to a new location. They'll move out of the bunny apartments, and they'll have more free time to themselves, a little bit more room to jump around. And some of these guys will get to go live outside, the ones that choose that they want to be outside bunnies, and the other ones will either be rehomed with folks that are looking to raise bunnies for whatever reason people choose to raise bunnies for, and some of them will just turn into the breeding stock for future awesome bunnies in the future. So if you're wondering, what we do is we actually put plastic, this is greenhouse plastic, on the outside of the bunny, enclosures right here. This is what I found. This is hardware cloth that you can get at the hardware store. This is the only kind of caging material that you want to use to raise bunnies in. I've never seen a bunny chew through this just yet, but I have seen them chew through that kind of circular octagon type stuff. So, but yes, cool gray guys. That gray guy with a black nose is pretty cool. So I've not really noticed him before. So, and then this guy, see how super fluffy he is? He's got a lot of lion head in him. He must have had a lion head dad. But this is actually what's important, guys. This is what life's about. It's about being able to come here and sit here and just look at a bunch of baby bunnies and think about how absolutely adorable baby bunnies are, and the fact that they are super interested in you, that, one of these little guys you can spend a lot of time with and then becomes a really great companion of yours. And then you can also do cool things like breeding them and seeing what kind of cool stuff can appear, like what kind of cool stuff. When we first got our bunnies, we only had black bunnies and brown bunnies. And then just throughout the course of breeding them, new colors came out. And then we added a few bunnies to the mix, because all of our bunnies are rescue. We've not bought a single bunny. Every bunny that we've had has been a rescue bunny that we then either let breed or accidentally misgendered and they bred. But we've all the bunnies are rescue bunnies, because that kind of became what we do here. As much as I teach homesteading and farming and gardening and off-grid living, I'm also a sanctuary for folks that have animals that they just can't take care of anymore. So, a good portion of our ducks are rescue ducks. We rescued them. Our pig, Sylvia, she came running off the mountain one day, and we captured her and rescued her. Otherwise, that could have been, a very different life for her. Most of our chickens now, I would say probably about 70% of our chickens we've bought No, that's wrong. 70% of our chickens come from our stock we bought, and the last 25 are ones that we've rescued over the time. Thank you so much for the diamond and the ice creams. We very much appreciate that. Terry, I'm not sure, but we've had horses dumped here on the property. We've had cats and dogs. We've had rabbits. We've had chickens. We've had ducks. I've asked people, like, if you want to dump your bees here, I can take in some more beehives. If you want to dump, if you want to, leave us a sheep, we kind of like a sheep. So, anyways, we ask the ether, and the ether provides us. But yeah, we also raise bees here, but it's middle of winter, so we can't see a lot of stuff with the bees. But one of my favorite things, if you guys have ever considered having bees, you should definitely, absolutely get yourself some bees, because bees are absolutely spectacular. They're so much fun to raise. So, while they are a little bit of a financial investment, they're nowhere near the amount of work that you would ever imagine. And Calmly, thank you so much for the lemons and the ice creams. So bees are just absolutely spectacular. Something you should all think about doing, even if you live in the city, even if you live in the suburbs. Just come and that. And if you don't know anything about them, don't worry. In the spring, we'll be doing some more bee classes. And if you just want to go to more of a professional bee class, hit me up. Either get on the Discord, which is !Discord, or just hit me up in an email. You can find my email. You can find all my contact information in the section below. And I will link you some really good videos that'll teach you how to do gardening, or how to raise bees and that kind of stuff. But bees are absolutely amazing. They're one of the coolest. They're probably one of the coolest things that you ever could possibly raise. So, man, thank you for just absolutely hooking me up with the diamonds and the ice creams and the things. For those that don't know, I actually take all of those donations that we get from that, and I cycle that all back around, and I give that back to the animals, because they are the main reason why we're here. And Sunbear, if when you guys come up this way, if you do guys come all the way up to West Virginia, and you guys want to swing by, or you want to visit some of the stuff around here, hit me up and I'll ride with you guys. I'll show you some of the back roads. I'll show you some of that kind of stuff. So, and by the way, that's an invite to anyone. If you're ever coming up here, it's not as much fun in the winter, but if you're passing through in the warmer months, I'm just off of 77. You guys can find me with Mavis Manor. Just look that up on the Google search, and you guys can come visit. And Calmly, thank you again. So we'll pause that for a second, because that's usually silliness. Yes.
So not today, but when do you think you want to move stuff?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
As long as the weather's decent, we'll move everybody tomorrow.
Roof down, the big roof in the corner is kind of stepped.
Which one?
The one in there, that's the big roof.
They need to be that whole thing probably needs to be cleaned out first.
Well, if you'll search through, just double check some genders.
Yeah.
But I think if we just rotate everybody, if we just go up with the two guys, white guys out of there. The other two guys down here, just go over and put all the babies in this. No, put all the 7 in this cage.
Okay.
Because it might be a little more space for them to run around. There's one more level.
Okay. That's a good idea.
And then the babies can go down below. And then these two guys can go over here. It's just a big circle. Some of the cages don't make sense.
That sounds good. Oh man, thank you so much, Calmly. I absolutely so very, very much appreciate it. So we will use all of those to do good things. So if you guys want to see, this is the earthworks. This is the earthworks dam I've been working on, and this is one of our swell ponds. So again, this is another thing that if you ever get a chance to come visit me here in southern West Virginia, or if you ever just want to learn anything about homesteading, this is where you guys are all welcome to you guys are all welcome to swing by, visit, or if you ever just need help, if you decide that you got tired of what you're doing and you just want to grow some of your own food and you just want to raise some things. So I used to be a city kid. For those that might not know, I used to be a city kid, and so I actually know a lot of the tricks on how to also do urban homesteading, and I am always happy to share all of my information with anybody that is interested in doing this. So, and also another thing to keep in mind, every February I mail out seeds to anyone that's interested in getting any seeds. So if you guys would like seeds, you can contact me either through Discord or send me an email or give me a call or anything like that, and I'll get you on that list and I'll send you off some seeds. The only thing I ask is if you have a really awesome, bountiful yield and you do really, really well, to mail me some seeds back so that I can keep continuously having awesome seeds to send off to everyone. So I just think it's one of those things. We did really well. I did that this year, or actually I mailed out seeds, I think in January, February, I think is what it was. And some people did really well. I mailed some seeds that I thought were a little, I mailed some seeds to areas that I was just kind of interested to see how well they did, and some of them did really well and some of them didn't do as well. But that's kind of the fun of the experiment, to get you good seeds that I know where they come from, seeds that's not, not all of them are heirloom, but some of them are just, local seeds that's been growing here for a very, very long time. So, it's just really cool. So, and just something I'd like to, just one of those things I'd like to give back. Anyway, and again, it's just one of those, we need to keep community strong. We need to keep community extra strong in these crazy times. So a lot of people are going to get fragmented all over the internets. And so we just all have to figure out ways to recombine our team together. So I'm going to show you guys this real fast. So we've got some tracks here. These don't necessarily, based on these tracks, they're not, some of these don't necessarily look like cat tracks. So I'm trying to see where they're going. So as we follow down my path that I created, we will see some trails. So this could be from that skunk or whatever it is that got into the bunnies. And Damatra, good day to you as well. I hope you're not on fire there in Oz. So regardless of what happens in the future, I will always continue streaming. I will just keep dancing around, moving to new places and things of that sort. So I've got some major plans for this year. I plan on doing some awesome stuff with trying to do some more and more work. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be able to have people here at the workshop, but even if I can't, I'm going to live stream all of my workshops. I'm going to be doing more things so that all of us can have more skills under our belt. The big thing I'm really super excited about is I'm going to be doing we're going to do everything. We're going to do some hyper-focusing on raising bees next year. I'm going to really get, last year I did a little bit where I showed you guys how to install bees. I showed you guys how to check your bees and such like that. We're going to do some more stuff. I'm going to go through step by step. We're going to do some step by step to make sure that you guys, so that you guys can all decide to get some bees, because bees are one of the best investments. Because here's the thing, a lot of you know that I lost most of my bees this year, but they all produced me a lot of honey, and now I can reuse the boxes and I can reuse their frames, because none of them died of any of the illness, any major bee illness. It's just colony collapse disorder, and sometimes we just don't know what's causing that. So even though the investment that I made into the bees, not only did they help out with pollination, they gave back with all the pollination, with all of the great plants that I had, but we also got honey off of them. So some of that honey I've froze and I've saved for future emergencies if bees don't have enough honey to make it through the winter and such. But I also have the honey that I can process myself, and honey is great for bartering. you'd be surprised, like almost anybody will barter for honey. Honey is liquid gold, especially if you can tell people where this honey came from and such like that. So that alone is a great reason to have bees. The pollination is a great reason to have bees. But the way bees calm you down and the way bees just teach you how to look at life a slightly different, it's very interesting. You'd think that it would give you this kind of collective idea, but when you sit down and you realize that the queen actually isn't in charge, she's just playing a role in her functioning community. And her role is just as important as every other worker's role. And they work together as a team to do awesome stuff. So it's really, really awesome. It just shows you, it helps remind you that to be as self-sufficient as possible, it really takes a community. Community efficient, being a community sufficient is the goals that we need to be working on. So one other thing, and this is to anybody that streams on here on DLive, and I'm going to do a show just on it in the very near future. If DLive does decide to permanently X-tag people and there is no monetary way run through DLive, I will be showing folks more and more different ways on how to use other types of cryptocurrency, how to set up wallets, where's a good place to buy in, how to use things like Cash App. That will be something that I think is going to be vitally important, and it might also be for other platforms that we move to, is allowing, the streaming site to do whatever they want with the streaming site, and we just take the monetary transaction instead of having a third party. We just do it between peer-to-peer, and we don't need the other folks to take any of our revenues. So something that I'm going to have to put together. I'll probably run a beta test on my computer to make sure OBS and such, and things like that. So Mock just sent me a message wanting me to know if I wanted to do a prep talk tonight, and maybe we will. Look forward to that this evening. Maybe we'll do a little prep talk tonight. We'll talk a little bit about prepping and just to kind of calm our minds a little bit, and just the more prepared you are, the better you can deal with all the silliness that's happening. And so as a good community here, and community through all, as I mean on the internets, we should talk about stuff. So Mock said he wants to do a prep tonight, so maybe 9-10 o'clock Eastern time we'll do a prep show, impromptu prep show about prepping. And simple prepping, this is for you guys that live in the city or for folks like me that live out here in the country. So if anybody out there in internet land, if any of you have any questions about homesteading, farming, because winter right now with our having more time to be able to focus on our minds, we're not so focused about all of the hustle and bustle out there. You're kind of more you're more hunkered down this time of year, especially if you're in an area that freezes. If you guys have any questions about homesteading, then we can. If you have any of those questions now, we can talk about some of those questions now. We can talk about like the pros and cons, things that as you're getting into preparing for a homestead, or preparing to raise chickens, or preparing to raise rabbits. So, and let's say some of you folks maybe live in the cities and you're just like, yeah, but Doc, I really, really would like to have chickens, but my HOA or my city laws say I can't have any of that. There are options for that. I currently have zero problems. I have a bunch of cell phones behind me, and where's it at? It's right there. There's another one. I have really good cell coverage here, and I also have really, really good internet here. That is because I worked hard to make sure I had good internet here. So I got hold of the internet. I got hold of the internet company, and I also ran a business for a few years. When I ran a bed and breakfast, I let them know I needed high-speed internet. I gave them on a regular basis to also make sure. I will be this year, as soon as I have the opportunity to, I will be trying Elon Musk's Starlink, And I also will be trying Mint Mobile. So I don't know, those here in the United States have probably seen the commercial for Mint Mobile. So I'm also going to be trying Mint Mobile because I technically live in an area where Mint Mobile's kind of iffy the way it works. So we're going to be beta testing and seeing how Mint Mobile works. So we can be talking about the high-tech kind of...
Sorry, I found a lid. I put it right there.
Oh, thank you. That's the lid I was looking for.
Okay.
Cool, thank you. And so we'll be doing that kind of stuff. And we're also going to be talking about how that you can live... I don't want to say off-grid because I'm not really living off-grid, but how you can live on the outskirts of nowhere. On the outskirts of society, just a little bit that, but still reap all the benefits of, us, our digital leash, our connecting to all of our friends, our digital community that we have. So yeah, Starlink I'm very excited about as well. Currently, I'm on the list as soon as it's available in my area. The second it's available in my area, they'll let me know, and I'm gonna snag that, and I'm gonna run it some tests. And I'm going to see what I think so I can give an honest opinion. Being here in Appalachia, under beautiful blue skies, in the mountains, in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, I'll be able to give you guys a review and let you guys know what I think. Because right now I use a service called Suddenlink, and they're meh, but they're pretty much the only option I have. But they're meh, so I'm not happy with them. But there is not an ETA. So I am on the beta list. I signed up about a year ago for as soon as it gets into my area. I had to write a little essay to Starlink about it. So I wrote a little essay. I got approved to be in their beta testing area. So the beta test when it comes to my area. So unless I missed the email, which I don't think I did, I'm just waiting for the email so I can be on that list to test it out and see how well. I've actually seen it fly over here, and it's really, really crazy. I wish I could catch it on camera because it's something that you guys should definitely see. So, Sun Bear, I'm not sure how far you are outside of like a major city, but my buddy who lives in Tampa, just outside, he lives like within, he can actually hear the Ray Stadium, wherever they're playing the Super Bowl this year. He actually saw Starlink go over his head when he was outside smoking one day. So I can just imagine, like, I saw Starlink here where I can see the Milky Way, and he saw Starlink in like a city area. He said it was still crazy. He thought it was like a bunch of alien ships or something. And when I saw it down here, it was absolutely crazy. So, but it's worth checking out. You can actually download an app on your phone to see when the stuff's gonna fly over. It doesn't fly over that often, but it does. It is kind of interesting. So, it's kind of cool that they're lower Earth orbit stuff. So with the way they have the grid set up, it's just very intriguing to me, very interesting. So, anyways, that's the other things we're going to talk about. We're going to peek over here at the bees real fast. We're going to, this is going to be the new bee yard. I'm going to be doing a lot of work right here. We'll be extending the walkway over here, and then I'll probably move that and extend the walkway and make like a U shape. And so we'll have the bees all in here. So this hive, this hive is still functioning. There's still bees. As of the last couple days, there was still bees flying in and out. The good thing is there's a few dead bees right there at the entrance. That's a good thing. So, yeah, the lights look like, if you've ever seen like satellites fly over, or you've ever seen like the really glowy stuff of like the International Space Station or planes, but without the blinkiness, that's kind of what it looks like but they're all in this crazy row, and it's kind of like this crazy grid, and it's just, it's really, 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 really cool to see and check out when Starlink flies over. So, the darker the area, the more intense it is. So, here, minus a few of my neighbors with the I'm afraid of the dark lights. I got a couple spots that I can get around where where some of the places around me don't have direct I'm afraid of the dark lights. So I can sometimes see a lot of stuff super well. I can always go to the top of the mountain too, and when Winter Place doesn't have their ski lights on, because they have the big booming ski lights like stadium lights. So in the winter I can't see a whole lot, but in the rest of the year it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think that's what it says. And actually, Mark, I think it actually goes up and down. I think that they've got a sweet spot that they want to try to get. They want to try to get all of the grid to, but right now they don't. They need to get all the satellites in place, and so these older ones are going to move up and bring the other ones in place. And then when they all get stationed in place like a giant grid, they'll all come back down a little bit, and then we'll have a giant grid, which could cause problems in the future, but I don't currently control it. So, I mean, phone lines cause problems. Squirrels die from running across phone lines and such like that. So, all good things have a pro and a con to them, and it's best to weigh them out to the best that you can. So we're gonna walk out here. I'll show you guys. We're gonna walk out into the hay. I'm gonna walk. If you see those tire tracks right there, we're gonna walk right there. We're gonna go check out the Met elderberry patch that's growing there, because I'm kind of interested to see how well it's wintering. So you guys can see, even though we mowed this once, you can still see how the grass is still grew very well throughout the course of the fall. Yes, and Mark's correct. You in the very near future, you will not be able to see them as well as you can see them now. They're still tweaking their locations, and they're still tweaking the way the solar panels and such work. So because of the way the solar panels are right now, we can still see them very well. But soon, that'll actually not be true anymore. I was interested, there's a couple patches right there with just like a big patch and a big patch. My guess is there's probably a lot of rocks right there, and that's the thermal mass that you see coming up on why that's there. Because the only other thing that would be is if it was water, and I know there's not water in either one of those locations. So, hey, Sergeant Bob. Hope everything is doing well for you. We're walking out. We're going to walk out. We're going to check out the elderberries, see how well they're wintering. I also need to be eyeing where I'm going to put some bee traps this year, because we're going to try to catch bees again this year. We tried to catch last year with no success, but I now have some new tactics I'm going to try, so I'm kind of excited to see about capturing some bees. Because wild bees, what I found out is wild bees, especially bees that's grown up here on the farm and bees that are native to this area instead of ones I have to buy in, they seem to do a lot better. So maybe it's because of the cell towers, maybe it's because of the weather, maybe it's just because they've acclimated to this area and they already have all of whatever's making them dork out. Not dork out. So we can see, I can see some deer. I can see some deer has passed through here and they've done some browsing. We can see that we had a cool caterpillar cocoon hanging out right there. That kind of looks like a monarch to me, and we're close enough to where some of the stuff is, so that might have been where a monarch has cocooned out. And the deer's passed through here, and yeah, you can see some deer rubs. There's kind of a deer rub right there. Again, I'm not too worried. This is just my patch of wild elderberries. This is going to ebb and flow as the seasons progress, but it produced me quite a bit this year. Very excited about that. Very happy about the elderberries. So, and you can also see that this is this is where some of the springs run through the property. So even with how cold it is, you can see that there's still still fresh running water all throughout the center of my property because there's always fresh water here. So the folks that owned the property before me, they actually were trying to cover all this in and, didn't realize that you can't really cover up a creek with just putting dirt and such on it. So I've actually over the years just allowed this to turn back into a creek. And yeah, more of just the hayfield and the mountain. And then where those cell towers are, that's Huff's Knob. That's the highest point. So that's the highest point here in Flat Top. Oh, what's also cool is here on this hill, because you guys can see how the hill comes down a little bit, but like right up in there, there is mountain crayfish. So they're crayfish that live in the ground, and I'll show you guys some next year. Of course, we're not going to find any this year, but it's really cool to have like a little crayfish, like a mini lobster for those that might not know what crayfish are. Living right here in the mountains because these holes are full of clay and they fill up with water, and so these guys have figured out ways to make them hold water very well. So yeah, crayfish, crawfish, crawdad, all of that kind of stuff. Whatever you guys call them, everybody has different fish. I call them crayfish. So that was a term I learned as a kid from Ohio. I'm gonna go check on Lisa, make sure that everything's doing well with her. So we're gonna head on back this way. So yeah, about 9-10 o'clock Eastern time. So I don't know what time it is right now. Right now it is 5 o'clock. So about five or so hours from now. Oh, that's cool, Dimatra. That's really cool. So about 5 hours from now, me and Mock will do a show talking about prepping items to get. Again, I prefer to actually focus on the prepping for the unprepared, for folks that's never actually got anything. And folks, everybody's welcome to join, but if you've never done prepping, or you just don't understand it, or you think it's crazy, or you maybe just getting into it and you want to know a little bit about it, join us this evening. We've got some good ideas. And everybody else is also, again, like most of our shows, everybody's welcome to jump into the Discord and have conversations, ask things. And if you're just kind of shy to be on camera or shy to have your voice on the phone, you guys can always just ask questions in the chats. So if you are leaving DLive, again, thank you guys all for following. I also do this on Twitch and Truvo and Periscope, but Periscope's only going to be around for another 3 months. But we also have our Discord channel. See that right there? Let's see if I can get it lined up. You can kind of see it if I get the angle just right with the camera. You can see it, but you can kind of see how the cool layers in the sky. I can see the layers pretty easy, but you can see the cool layers, and you can see the sun setting right over there as it crests around the mountain. Because the way the sun sets and the way the mountain goes, sometimes the sun can be set quite a bit lower over the mountain, and you can still see really cool rays of sun just jet through the property right up there. So, I'll also add, in the near future, there's about 60 to 100 acres up there that I've heard is going to go up for sale. It's pasture land right now. It doesn't really have anything useful to it other than pasture land, but maybe one day we can all get together and pick that up and turn that into part of a community building project to build some cool community houses for everyone, for those that are just ready to get away. And we can then turn Flat Top into a cool little pocket community of just awesomeness, showing people how you actually can really function as a community, and people can get along and just do great things together. I think it's possible. So I've spent a long time. Researching communes. I've spent a long time researching eco-villages. I've even spent time researching HOAs and tribal living and such like that. And I've got some pretty decent ideas of how to survive in communal type living, communal land, shared resources. And so one day we'll have a whole conversation about that, because I think it is something that we might talk about, and actually how to function without being like communist. So it's really interesting. So see, I knew somebody was going to come up with it. That's why I preempted it. Daughter preempted what you were going to say. Now, there is ways, just as we do with states and as we do with governments and as we do with things, there's ways to have public/private land protected properly and still function with a level of strong community, and to have functional protecting each person's individual identity or your family identity and things of that sort. There's just it's just really about lots of communication, because communication and understanding other people's viewpoints and understanding how other people are viewing things is absolutely key. Like right now, we could fix all the problems here on DLive. We could fix all the problems in our government. We could fix all the problems probably in dysfunctional families, if we could just get people to communicate properly, communicate openly, and communicate in the right direction. And I'm still working on this myself, so please understand it's easy, but it's one of the easiest things that you can do, because it's about reflection in your voice and letting other people talk and letting yourself listen. And it might actually be more of letting yourself listen to other people, because that can be really hard sometimes. Oh, Terry, I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that statement very, very much. So, okay, let's see. Where is Lisa at? Is she in the barn? Is she in the bunny barn? She's not in the handy run. Or is she in the Kuppenheimer barn? Let's guess the Kuppenheimer barn. So, that's my guess. Let's find out. So, she isn't here. I was correct. I had a good guess. Lisa, is there anything else you need me to help you with? Anything you'd like me to do? Okay. Say that again. I couldn't hear you over the guineas. Yeah. Did she eat any of the popcorn? Yeah. Okay. No, she's probably more excited about the popcorn than the food. Oh, so I'm going to give you guys a couple tips since we're in here. If you guys are going to have a barn, one of the things that we learned really well is, you see that up on the ceiling? That's actually just a tarp. We just stapled a tarp up there. It makes really, really good ceiling, nice and uniform, but it's also easy to take down and put back up. Now, unfortunately, sometimes the guineas will get up in there and they'll pull it down, and we just got to go back up there and staple it up. But what's really nice is the other good thing about a tarp is if the roof happens to leak or anything, the tarp will run the water down. And then if you have an absolute crazy emergency, you can always just drill a little hole into the tarp and let the water out there, and then go up and fix the roof on the issue. And you're not out a lot of money with a tarp. It's not like putting in a drop ceiling, or not just like leaving it open. So. And there is downfalls to leaving it open. Leaving the tarp up there makes a nice air pocket so that it helps with a type of insulation. So, yeah, I remember when a lot of leftover companies would take stuff like the schools and the bakeries and that kind of stuff. You used to be able to get all that kind of stuff for farms. It's a lot harder to do that today. A lot of times they're just kind of lazy, and they just would rather throw everything away, which is kind of sad, but It's the then that's part of the future that we're going to change. It's part of the stuff that as all of us start reshaping this world to be more of what we want it to be. And since the internet gave us the ability to get together and to share ideas and to share community and to tell people how problems have worked in our areas or not worked in our areas, we really have a great opportunity to reshape the world. A lot of people are looking at everything that's happening and this connection that we have on the internet as bad, and in reality, it's the opposite of bad. We're just seeing a lot of the problems, and we're just kind of going through the growing pains. I've done actually. I'm playing around with ALGO, that crypto right now. I actually have been playing around with on different sites just to see how the compounding interest stuff works with it. I'm very intrigued with it. I really like it. Things have been going very, very well with that. When you're talking about material stuff, any trades, I did actually. I traded. I played the crypto game. I turned my $600 into more than $600 that was given to us, and then I took that and I bought Lisa a phone because she's been needing a new phone for a little while now, and we were trying to, we're always trying to be frugal and not spend money on silly things that we don't, we try not to replace anything until we absolutely need to. And so we found we were able to trade that crypto into turning it into a phone. And so the phone didn't cost us really anything. It was just playing it right. Yeah, Terry, I absolutely agree. I think that we absolutely should have things like that are ugly fruit and are slightly aging fruit, because a lot of stuff, if you eat that day, even if it's getting to the point where it doesn't look pretty, if you eat it really soon, it's still, sometimes it's actually better, and sometimes it's perfect for folks that are in need and hungry. And I don't know if you guys know this, but you might hear that the world population can't hold the amount of people that we currently have, and you'll hear people say, like, we're overpopulated and there's not enough resources and there's not enough stuff. Let me explain to you, that's actually all completely a lie. So we can hold quite a bit more people than we currently have. So the problem we have right now is we don't have any ability to properly distribute the resources, the food and water that we currently have in the areas that it's most needed. So it has a perception of looking like we have a hunger problem, when in reality, if we just utilized our food sources properly, and we didn't even really have to change anything, and if we changed things, it would be even better. But we wouldn't even have to change the way we grow food. We just have to change the way we redistribute it and how we get it from point A to point B and getting it into the people's hands in the right period of time. And everyone could live a great, luxurious life, and we wouldn't need to get rid of any more of the rainforest. We wouldn't need to expand our farmland at all. And we wouldn't have to do any of these environmental degradations that the left is rightfully complaining about. We wouldn't need to do any of that if we just tightened up the way we treat food. That being said, if we then took advantage of the technologies that we have, hydroponics, aeroponics, permaculture, silviculture, fruit forests, growing things in proper particular areas, we could even reduce the amount of farmland that we're using. We could even reduce the amount of things that you see for having cattle and such like that. We could reduce all of that, raise the quality of life up for everyone, raise the quality of the products up. So we could raise the quality of life up for chickens and rabbits and ducks and horses and cows and fish and everything else we eat. We could raise all of that quality up. We could raise up the quality of the food. We could raise up our ability to eat this and pass it around better. And so, like, with just a little bit of planning and a little bit of doing things right, everything on this planet can get better. And that's not a pipe dream. This is not anything crazy. This isn't something that's saying, like, oh, I wish we could do this, or in a perfect world we can do this. No. This, after being here on the farm and seeing what I've been doing as a city kid, moving out here and not even having the best land, just having to augment the soil and make the soil better and figure out what I can grow and experiment and try new things. And, and I am just someone who doesn't even have the knowledge. I'm doing everything through trial and error and what a few people told me. These folks that research this kind of stuff and have cutting edge technology and have access to this awesome stuff, like what we can accomplish and what we can do is absolutely amazing. So you can be, you can be nervous about all of the silliness that's happening in the world today, and it's good to be vigilant and to not let the the New World Order, not let the powers to be, not let the elite take too much control. But in reality, they can only control what you allow them to control. You will always be free in your head. As long as you can move this body, or you have someone that's going to help you move this body, you can do amazing things. We've been given this gift, and we squander it sometimes. I'm guilty. I am actually one of those people that do that as well. I know what I can accomplish throughout the course of the day. I know if I put my nose to the grind, what cool things I'd be able to do, and I slack at it. And so, I don't know, just trying to, we all do our little part, and sometimes I if I'm coming across preachy, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to come across preachy. I see so much hope and I see so much excitement, and then I see us focus on silly things, and we kind of get disrailed off of what we really can be focusing on and what we really can be doing. So, okay guys, my phone's telling me 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes, 15% battery life. And when this phone says 15% battery life, it dies really, really quickly. So, in the very near short future, I will be replacing this camera with a new phone. I'm trying to get a V60, so an LG V60. So that's where my chip works for my AT&T phone. I really like the camera specs on that. I read a lot of good things about that, and it's also not a brand new phone, so I should be able to save on buying a used one. So that will be something that we get here in the near future. But until then, this is what we're doing. But again, guys, enough of all that silliness. Thank you guys all. Thank you everyone who's donated. If this is the last time you see me stream here on DLive, I appreciate all the years that you've been following me. If you've just recently followed me, thank you for following me. I'm also going to be streaming so that some of you that are, of course, following your friends to other places, I will also be on all the other places that I can possibly be. So look for me there, Dr. Firefly on there. If you want to follow me more decisively, ! Discord. And if you're just tired of all the social media, I do have a website that my Mavis Institute runs, and the Mavis Institute is the mavisinstitute.xyz. And while I don't normally plug this kind of stuff, if you guys are going to continue to use Amazon and something like that, if you type in smile.amazon.com, my nonprofit is one of those that's available. That a very, very tiny percent of what you purchase goes towards my nonprofit, which is the Mavis Institute. And I very much appreciate it. And if you don't use it for me, use it for some other nonprofit out there. And again, thank you guys so much. It's wonderful having you guys around. I look forward to continuously having endless conversations for the future years to come with you guys. So, and to all my friends, see you guys next time. To all of those that are leaving, see you around. I hope life treats you super well and that all of your blessings come true. It's the Baron Doc Justin, whatever you guys like to call me. Till next time, adios.